Hello students. Now we are going to start chapter number 14 from class 12, that is semiconductor devices. So to begin this, first of all we have to know that all the solids present, we categorize them into three different categories, that it can be either a metal or an insulator or semiconductor. So the solids we have are divided into three categories. These categories are metals, insulators, and semiconductors. And this classification is actually based on the conductivity of these solids. For example, these metals are highly conducting, insulators are non-conducting. However, semiconductors has conductivity less than metals but more than insulators, or we can say that semiconductors conductivity is in the intermediate range between metals and insulators. So these semiconductors has conductivity less than metals but more than insulators. So this is how we classify these solids on the basis of conductivity. The distinction between these solids like metals, insulators, and semiconductors can also be done on the basis of band theory. But before that, first we have to study about energy bands. So the next thing that we are studying is energy bands. For this, we have to recall the Bohr's atomic model. So as per the Bohr's atomic model, electrons that are present in the atom, they revolve around the nucleus in some well defined energy levels. Only those energy levels in which that Bohr quantization condition is applicable, or in which angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, or we can say that electrons revolve around the nucleus in well defined orbit. This was the condition in Bohr model. But along with this motion of electron, there exist, but in atoms there exist interatomic interactions in crystal, and because of these interactions, the energy levels in which those electrons are moving, revolving, those energy levels is split into a number of energy levels, right? So if we have one energy level, because of the interaction, it is split into a number of energy levels, and these large number of closely spaced energy levels combinedly form an energy band. So these large number of closely spaced energy levels form an energy band. Now if we have an atom and it has electron in its highest filled shell, then we call those electrons as valence electron, and the band corresponding to the highest energy level, or we can say that highest energy band filled with electrons, means in which electrons are present, is called valence band. And the band that is above valence band, which is empty, right, or we can say that the lowest unfilled energy band, which is empty and which is just above the valence band, that is called conduction band. So for conduction band, we can define it as the lowest unfilled allowed energy band next to the valence band is called conduction band. So this we have to remember, that the level or the band which is filled with electron, which has electrons in it, is called valence band. It is the highest energy level which is occupied by the electrons. After it, the band present is empty. So this is the lowest empty band. This is the lowest empty band, or we can say that this is the lowest unfilled allowed energy band, which is next to the valence band, and it is called conduction band. So if some solid material has conductivity, then that means its electron are capable of moving or jumping from valence band to conduction band. Only then they can conduct, or they can show the conductivity. So for that, electron has to jump from valence band to conduction band. On the basis of this fact, we have band theory, which help us to distinguish between metals, semiconductors and insulators. So let's see the distinction between these three on the basis of band theory. So this is how we can explain the distinction between metals, semiconductors and insulators on the basis of band theory. In case of metals, valence band, that is the highest occupied band which is occupied by the electrons, overlap with the conduction band. So electrons in the valence band in this region are also present in the common region of valence band and conduction band. So they don't need extra energy for conduction. That's why they conduct easily, and metals show high conductivity in comparison to other material. Since there is overlapping between valence band and conduction band, that is the reason that the electrons of valence band don't need extra energy to jump to the conduction band and start conducting, and they easily show conduction, they easily participate in conduction. That's why metals show high conductivity. However, in case of insulators, energy gap between these two bands, valence band and conduction band, is more than 3 electron volts, which is not easy to provide the electrons of valence band. Even if we apply an electric field, it can't give this much energy to an electron to make it jump from this valence band to the conduction band. So it's not possible for us to impart this much amount of energy to the electrons of valence band so that they can jump into the conduction band. Hence, due to the deficiency of free electrons in conduction band, here the insulators are poor conductor of electricity. They can't conduct, or they don't show any conductivity, because there are no free electrons present in the conduction band, as we can't provide this much amount of energy to the electrons of valence band so that they can jump to the conduction band. Now if we talk about semiconductors, so semiconductors come in a range that is between metals and insulators. It is because the energy gap between these material, that is the semiconductors, is less than 3 electron volts, means the conduction band is empty at 0 Kelvin. If we are not giving energy to that material, we are at 0 Kelvin, then the conduction band is empty and the valence band is filled. So the material act as insulators at low temperatures, while the energy gap between these two bands is small, that is about less than 3 electron volts, and at room temperature some of the valence electrons can acquire this much energy, or we can say they can get enough thermal energy from the room temperature and can jump to conduction band from valence band because of the room temperature only. And that's why as they jump to the conduction band, they start conducting electricity, and as they start conducting electricity, the semiconductor acquires small conductivity at room temperature, and the resistance of a semiconductor is not as high as insulator at room temperature. So if we talk about insulator and semiconductors. So at 0 Kelvin, if the temperature is 0 Kelvin, there is no thermal energy provided to the material, then electron can't jump from valence band to conduction band. In that case, this semiconductor behave like an insulator. But at room temperature, if we are at room temperature, some of the valence electrons get energy which is equal to that energy gap between the valence band and conduction band, and they jump to the conduction band and start conducting electricity. So at room temperature, these semiconductors show small conductivity, don't show conductivity like metals, but can't even show behavior like insulator. So they show small conductivity at room temperature. Now there is one more term called as Fermi level that we have to understand. As we are saying, if we impart energy from external source to semiconductor, electrons jump to the conduction band and start conducting. So when we are imparting this energy, there are number of levels present in this conduction band like this. Okay, there are number of levels present in the conduction band, and as we are imparting energy to the electrons of valence band, they will jump and occupy any one of these level depending on the energy that we are giving to that electron. So the highest energy level in the conduction band filled up with the electrons, that electron is occupying the highest energy level in the conduction band. This is in conduction band, and it is the highest energy level occupied by the electron at absolute zero. That level is called Fermi level, and energy corresponding to that level is called Fermi energy. So Fermi level is defined as absolute zero. So at absolute zero, the highest energy level occupied by the electrons in conduction band. This energy level is called Fermi level, and energy corresponding to it is called Fermi energy. So that's how we can differentiate between metals, semiconductors and insulators on the basis of band theory. Semiconductors are the solids that has conductivity in between metals and insulators, and we use semiconductors in electronics because we can control its conductivity by various means. So that was the basic introduction of semiconductors. For further videos related to this chapter, stay tuned and keep studying. Thank you.